Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Stanford Psycho TV. Today I'm going to talk about the development of attachment. What is an attachment? Are these some pictures or files that you attach along with your email? It is certainly not that kind of attachment. This kind of attachment is the establishment of a close emotional relationship between a child and a parent figure. And it is also often referred as bonding. The attachment is very important in the development of a kid because it lays the foundation for other close relationships that follow. A psychologist named John Bowlby, who built on the Hollow's work with monkeys, suggested that human attachment is innate, which means it is already programmed in us. It begins as early as the first few weeks after the baby is born, and it functions as a survival strategy for infants. There are a few styles of attachment. Some children seem to be comfortable with strangers when their primary caregiver is present, while others appear to be fearful. Some others seem to care very little who is present. Developmental psychologist Mary Ainsworth spent a career studying these various forms attachment takes in humans. She developed an innovative laboratory procedure called the strange situation, which continues to be used today as the standard for measuring attachment. The strange situation involves putting young children and their primary caregiver into a series of interactions, sometimes together, sometimes separated, and sometimes with a stranger. Researchers then observe how the child responds to these various situations. Using such methods in a variety of cultures, Ainsworth found that the children's responses fell into two main categories, reflecting either secure attachment or insecure attachment. Secure attached children were relaxed and comfortable with their caregivers and tolerant of or even interested in strangers and new experiences. When separated from their caregivers, they became upset, which from 6 to 30 months, it is a normal behavior called separation anxiety, but calm down immediately on the caregiver's return and resume their normal activities. They seem to perceive their caregivers as a secure base from which to explore the world, confident that the caregiver will be available to help if needed. Insecurely attached children could be divided into two categories. Number 1, anxious ambivalent, and number 2, avoidant. The anxious ambivalent children wanted contact with their caregivers but cried with fear and anger when separated from their caregivers and proved difficult to console even when reunited. They clung anxiously to their caregivers when a stranger approached and were uncomfortable exploring new situations. On the contrary, the avoidant children were not interested in contact, displaying no distress when separated from their caregivers and no particular happiness when reunited. And which style do you think is the best? It depends very much on the important factor of culture. For example, German families prefer avoidant attachment, as it promotes greater self-sufficiency, while Japanese parents rarely leave their children unattended, fostering greater dependence and an accompanying anxious ambivalent attachment style. Attachment is not only for kids. As children grow up and become adults, they no longer restrict their attachment to their primary caregivers. They gradually widen their attachments to include other family members, friends, teachers, co-workers, and others in their community. I suggest that you read further on Erikson's theory on psychosocial stages. in order to understand the importance of children developing a sense of trust in the first 18 months of their life. So let me summarize again. The attachment is the establishment of a close emotional relationship between a child and a parent figure, and it is often referred as bonding. And there are two attachment styles. Number 1, secure attachment, and number 2, insecure attachment. Insecure attachment is further divided into two, and number 1 is anxious ambivalent attachment, and number 2, avoidant attachment. This video is only meant to provide a general idea of what attachment is about. Please read further from your textbook, especially on the topic of Erik Erikson's theory. And please don't forget to like my video if you find it helpful to you, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.